Hello, the game has started. It's my opponent to go first. I've got a grimmish looking rack. I'm immediately drawn to the UW combo, which is pretty grim. However, I've got two S's, so I could burn one of them to play WUS, W-U-S. I'm just wondering if there could be... Interesting. I'm just wondering if there's a bingo through an E and opponent has provided one. And I'm thinking of Servuse. Gosh, and I've got three spots as to where this could go. I'm not sure there's a huge difference between them unless I can get the W doubled. Also, this may not be valid. But let's see if this stays on. Oh, and it doesn't. Am I misspelling something which is good? No, that's what I intended. Okay, so let me discard that thought and to briefly consider the float as anything with a P. I've got the up prefix and the pre prefix and super. No, what about the O? I've got the OUS ending. T. No. And E and D, no. Okay, so is this the play? It gets rid of the tiles I'm looking to get rid of. It massively disrupts the double-double lane, and I don't think I'm going to do much better than this. What if I played right in the middle, though? RSE, not good. Let me go with this. Great, this looks jolly close to a bingo. I have endures. That plays in rows G and I. What about an 8-letter play beginning or ending in E? Ensured is an anagram of endures. I don't think undersea can be spelt with two E's. So takes a D in front. And an I. Now, what about a double-double with S-O? So, well, I've got resound. What does that leave on my rack? It leaves an S and an E. Okay, well, I think my bingos are going to be better than a non-bingo double-double. Not really much access to premium squares, having exhausted column 8. I have denuders in column 9. No big overlaps available in row I. WUS doesn't take anything in front. I've got the under prefix. If the W were lower, I may have under so, but I'm not confident about that. Gosh, still looking at this Servuse, something very similar to that is good. Great, my bingo does play in rows G and I. Has opponent provided anywhere better? So ensured. Oh wow. Yes, ensured and endures both play here. So endures for 84. Fantastic. And I draw the first blank. Rest of the rack pretty grim. So close to mugwump. 4 out of the 7 letters. 5 out of 7. Now column 8 quite hot. And I can't do much about that. This U, although I'm grateful to have a vowel, not particularly helpful with the consonants I have, and there aren't many floating vowels. So I'm going to struggle to score with this rack. I think it's probably too good to change. I've got gumps in column 8. That's nice. That strong likelihood of that being taken. Genau is good, possibly pronounced differently. Ooh, 63 points for opponent. Why did that take so long to come down? Now, opponent has provided a couple of floaters. So why don't I have mugwump only one M? I have gorp through the A. Let me see what this looks like. It's 16 points. It's not fantastic. Rack leave isn't fantastic, but it's certainly better than changing. And I'm not seeing anything better. Okay, well, if there is a bingo here, it's going to be very low probability, but there could be one. And floating E of pooted, pretty useful. Biffy Dum is good. That plays in row G. Blank as a B. Not seeing anything else. And that could easily be blocked. But I would have multi-fid through an L or a T. T of pooted too high. Oh, wow. That's good. Biffy Dum remains available. Has opponent provided a new spot for it? OB takes A, S, and T. No. Does Biffy Dum take an S? I'm not sure it does. But it does. Unbelievable. Fantastic. 110 points. So I go into a 100-point lead. Wow. Okay, I didn't think that took an S because bifida is good, but some of these words have multiple or have two plurals, an S and an A. Now, back to the matter in hand. No scoring tiles, no bingo. Oh, wow. 70 points for opponent. So my lead just 30. What can I do to sort this rack out? Well, I've certainly got A's now for going on the end of OB. So I could play just double A and OB, keeping a tone. An alternative would be Anoa, but it's difficult to place that in column 13. It either doesn't get doubled or it opens up row A. I've also got a T for going next to OB. So I could play anti. Has the X gone? No, it hasn't. Anti would place an E next to this triple letter square. It's tempting to play off just a couple of tiles, but it would be very easy to have a succession of similar racks. There's still a blank to come and plenty of scoring tiles. I think Anata is good. Again, that would place an A next to a premium square. Why don't I play it here? Now, Anata does take a J in front. It's one of the new words. Well, this doesn't feel great. But a J in this spot, difficult to score hugely with, and opponent may not know it. I am burning all the tiles which go after OB. Only 17 points, and I'm keeping only vowels. 10 points for R and Obia. 14 minutes on my clock. Are there any scoring tiles on the board? V's hopeless because there are no two-letter V plays. What about a play in row I? What about a play from the D? No. What about getting value from the F? No. Okay, well, I am going with Anata. The E is always a useful tile to have on one's rack. Anata for 17. And turning over tiles pays off because I've drawn a blank and I've drawn a Z. Rest of the rack, fairly grim. I don't draw the J, so I must just keep in mind that Anata has that as a front hook. Oh wow, opponent gets 60 points. I was just noticing that I could play Kesvi's there for a big score. So, what to do? There are no E's for Kesvi, apart from the E at the bottom, which doesn't score very much. I could play Kos and R. That's quite nice. Yeah, and it keeps the floaters in X sign, which I'd like to keep available because I've got a blank and therefore I expect to bingo soon. Pretty confident there's no bingo here. Well, what about playing Moz? 37 points, stopping opponent from bingoing. Remaining pool is pretty bingo-y. Column 13 is a very good bingo lane, so I'm not cutting off my nose despite my face. CV, not a great rack lead, but I'm not going to sort this rack out in one. That's 37. That's 42. And opponent's just going to score easily off the Z there. So I'm actually coming back to this play. Moz for 37. Great, that looks pretty useful. So, do I have anything? Where to look? Nothing with the blank as a J. Nothing through the Q. Floaters for OB. A. 32 for opponent. So this rack plus an A. No. This rack plus a T. No. This rack plus an S. No. Wow, this feels super close to a bingo, but I haven't seen one. I would have Virgins onto an E. Nothing beginning ZE. Opponent's taken out the two-letter combos or two-letter words, which can contribute to a 9-letter bingo. I've studied a fair few of those, but I've not studied the 10s. But let me briefly consider AMI, which is a pretty handy 3-letter set. Not seeing anything. What about HON? No. So, how to play through this? I'm looking in row L again. I certainly want to play off the V. It's my only non-bingo-y tile. So can I get the V doubled? No, I cannot. Well, no, I can't. So where am I going to play the V? What about a play from the D? Nope, not seeing anything there. Now the A of Anata is a bingo-y floater. Maybe there is a bingo. close to scavenger. So this rack plus an A. Caverned and... Ooh, what about cravened? What about cravened? 474. Yes! Oh, wow. I was so close to not considering that floater, but there was a bingo through it. Fantastic. And, well, my lead, only 70 points. Opponent must have been scoring well. Oh, yes, 60 for X sign, 30 for R. So I'm not far enough ahead to be confident of victory. And there's a super open bingo lane in column 13. And the J and the K to come as scoring tiles. And column 1, pretty hot if opponent's got the right tiles. And that's not a spot I can play in because I've only got 1 vowel and you need 2. Let me count the remaining vowels. 12 out of 29, slightly vowel dry. I don't want to open a new lane or new bingo lane, so I'm not minded to play across from the D. Now, I do have an H, which can go next to the M. So I could play held for a decent score, hanging on to my precious vowel. Great. Wow, is it great? 44 points is a lot. So no, it's not great. This is what I'm thinking of, 31 points. That's good, given that I lead by only 20. This will increase my lead to 50. Rack leaves good. And I've got a T for obit. 19 tiles to come. 4 A's. An A would go very nicely with this rack. No U's for the Q. I could play healed for 5 more points, but I think I like the E on my rack. I'm going with held. Oh, and I dodge all of the vowels. Wow, any A, any I would have really improved this rack. And I just draw B and 2 T's. Brutal. Really brutal, because this is a hard rack to sort out in one. My lead is only 46, so if opponent bingos, I'm in real trouble. And if opponent's got the vowels, they could be banging in another big score bottom left. Oh, wow, that's bad. So what can I do? Can I play in row G? I could play B, E, something I. I've got Benny, but I want to start hitting these T's. I could play Gent, which is nice because it really disrupts column 13 as a bingo lane. Well, it takes it out. It creates a new lane in column 14, but a far less useful one. But the rack lead, B double T, pretty grim. Wow, opponent could bingo and score highly bottom left. I can't do anything about that with this rack. Great, just 11 points for opponent. They won't have kept 5 consonants, so they may well have kept a bingo-y set of 5 tiles. Yeah, I have a few options here, but I like Gent. Obit does take an S. It only takes an S. There's 1 to come. It's hard to get a scoring tile next to the G. And the alternative to that would be playing something like net, N-E double T. But then bingos could begin with a vowel. I could play just N-E-T, but I don't want to keep 4 consonants. What about playing bent in this spot? One more point, but the B, I think, is a more useful tile than the G. It can, for example, it can go above the E of pooted, and there's another G to come. Any other ways of disrupting this lane? I have 7 minutes on my clock. I do have an idea. What about tit? 10 points. And tit takes an E. So I don't like that. 6 minutes on my clock. Tint. But then opponent could place an S in any of a lot of positions. What about a play in column 12? No, overall I like gent. It forces opponents, if they're going to bingo. Well, they could have a big bingo beginning RES, but gent is definitely restrictive. I'm going with this. Great, I do draw vowels. Wow, I draw 3 vowels and a Y, which is a quasi-vowel. I lead by 50. I think opponent needs to bingo. The only scoring tile left is the K. They might be swamped with A's. But if they bingo now in column 14, pushing the bingo out from column 13 to column 14 means I have access to triple word squares. Okay, opponent does have a bingo beginning with S. They would have had one anyway. 73 points. I trail by 14. There are 3 tiles in the bag. So, oh, I actually have something quite nice here. I have, oh no, I was going to say Yeti, but NI, not good. I do have Yet, but how good is that? 31 points. That's going to take me to 432, a lead of 17. And opponent, wow, they've got a K, but only 5 minutes on my clock. So do I have something better than Yet? R only takes an E. Ah, NY is good. But I don't have anything ending ETY. What about anything beginning TYI? No. Yet is a decent score. Yiti is good. I'm going to empty the bag with Yet. An opponent will surely be able to go out into 4 minutes on my clock. So maybe I leave this spot alone. Opponent's going to struggle to play the K in that spot. What about Yiti? 17 points. I'm surely drawing an A. I'll have 5 tiles. Yeah, 5 vowels, 5 consonants. I might draw the K myself. Apo is good. I'm going to struggle to play off 5 tiles in the bottom left. 17 points is going to give me a 3-point lead. But I do have a shot with these 2 tiles of going out in 1. But opponent will be I really need to be able to go out in 1 in 2 spots. So can I do better than Yiti? Nothing I've got goes in front of G. What about bet for 27? I don't like it. Ag is good. I'm just never going out in one with this rack. FY is good. There could be something better. But Beatty not good. Is there anywhere for bitty? But then keeping two vowels, I'm likely to draw a vowel. Nothing goes in front of endures. I don't have anything through the G. Okay, I'm going with... Well, what about going with yite rather than yitey, preserving an I? No, there's a lot of vowels to come. I'm going with yitey for 17. Okay. I draw the K, which is good news. It means opponent can't use it for scoring. I've got Batik on my rack, but nowhere to play it. Only 1 minute on my clock and my lead just 13 points. So I've got cab next to yitey. And cab next to scaring. Is opponent going out into? Surely they are. So I think opponent's got 24. They've got AL. They lead by 21. So opponent's got zeal. And, well, they haven't got Alf anymore, but they've got La underpooted. 1 minute on my clock. I really need to go out with Batik. And that's not going to happen. I don't have anything with ZE. I have Batik through the eye of Biffydums. Okay, let's see what my cab scores are. 23 there. 26 down here. Is this the end of the road? 30 seconds left. Is there anything I've overlooked? Don't think so. I'm going with cab. And it's not going to be enough. I lead by 5. And that's not far enough ahead. Opponent's got 10 minutes to find their best owl spot, and it's void challenge, so they are definitely going to get something down. If they don't, I've got Rit top right. And I've got tie through the A, so I'm definitely going out. Yep. And the final score, 444 for me, 455 for opponent, a winning margin of 11 points. So well done to opponent. Let's see what I missed. Wow, close one. So opponent to go first, and they played pooted. Oh, well, that's exactly what I thought I was playing. Why did that come off? Oh, what? That is exactly what I thought I was playing. Let me scroll up and find out what I entered. Oh, I got the E and the U the wrong way around. Oh, wow. Okay, so missed bingo, but that is what I thought I was entering. Ouch. So I played wuss for 16. Opponent's rack plays foo. I now do have a bingo. E2 endures. Oh, wow, that serve U's play is so annoying because I know that the U takes the place of the V in that word. So that was just sloppy. Great Q play. Opponent got good value out of the scoring tiles. 60 for the Q and then 60 for the X and 40 for the J. Now, I play Gorp. Yeah, and only one more point on offer. Opponent plays Obi, and here it is, Biffy Dums for 110. And I was in good shape here, leading by 100. But that didn't last long. Opponent came back with relieves. And now I play Anata for... Wow, where is that happening? 12F. Anata parallel to Biffy Dums for 23. And I play it for 17, so I think column 12 would have been better. Opponent with the J and the X could have got 76 for Jinxes and Janata. Got 60 instead for Exine. Now, yeah, I thought about Co's and changed to Moz. Opponent's rack plays R. And wow, I6. Oval. So Vericund through this U. Well done if you spotted that. 80 points. And I have had Cravened for 74. So delighted to get a bingo down. And I still lead by 70. Missed bingo for opponent. Trojans. And Obit. Wow. Opponent plays Jets instead. And my lead has shrunk to 20. And this is where I felt reasonably good. I played Held from this rack, keeping Gent, which looked pretty promising with the A's and I's to come. Opponent's rack, they play Oo, could have played Jow, but I drew really badly. G8. Interesting beating, that's quite nice, because it doesn't take an S and it therefore takes out column 13, and the G isn't massively helpful. Isn't massively bingo-y, rather. So I think beating may have been the play here. I go with Gent. Yeah, so beating. I don't think Gracings is good. And Scragging, if it's good, wouldn't go. So I think beating would have been the play. I play Gent. Opponent plays Scaring. And now I trail by 14. There are just 3 tiles in the bag. And, well, I thought about F15. Yeah, I thought about Yet. Yeah, maybe I should have gone with that because I sacrifice a lot of points. 14 points. Really, with the hope of going out in 1, but where am I going to go out in 1, given that GI doesn't take anything? Probably just row G and row A. So maybe I should have gone for the points and tried to eke out some value from the B in the following turn. Anyway, I play Yeti rather. Opponent has larger. And now, finally, N9. KA, Honk, Zia, and Car for 29. Would that have made a difference? 29 would have taken me to 447. No, it wouldn't, because I lose 10 on countback, so opponent's just got to go out to win, and I go with Cab for 26. And then finally, opponent plays La. But what a game. Absolutely brutal stuff. And really, the miss of Servius is absolutely galling. I knew the word, and for some unknown reason, I transposed 2 of the letters in it, and I just shouldn't have done that because I know U and V are that the U is pronounced as a V. We're in Surview, so pretty galling stuff. But having said that, I was delighted to get down Biffydums and to spot the Craven bingo, and it was jolly close at the end, just 11 points between us. But Scrabble hands out these brutal emotions, and often you are the cause of them by making errors like the one I made in this game. But it's not the fault of the game, it's your own fault, and you just shake it off and move on. So many congrats to opponent on their victory. I hope you enjoyed watching that game. Like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you next time.